We're coming to you from the trailer, but not because we're camping. We're actually just are in the driveway. I'm going to be winterizing the trailer, which is not what I want to talk about today. But part of the winterizing process for us is mouse proofing. And that's the point of this video. I used to work at an RV center, and I have been in like over 1,000 trailers easy. And I've seen a lot of people's attempts at mouse proofing, and I've seen a lot of mouse poo on those attempts. So I just want to dispel some of the myths about keeping mice out of your trailer. We've actually been very successful in that regard. We don't have any mice in this trailer, never have, yet we've had mice in our house. So we do have experience trying to mouse proof and demouse a situation. So to start with, I'm just going to talk about there's two basic kinds of mice that you're going to find in our area in Ontario, and they can be kind of lumped. So one is the house mouse, the other can be kind of lumped together for deer mice or field mice. Also, both kinds are going to carry fleas, ticks, and mites, which are all just nasty things that you don't necessarily want in your living quarters. Of a deer mouse with two-tone color, their back is like a dark grayish brown, and their belly is white. Tail is often two-tone as well. They are the worst of the two mice because they carry the hantavirus, which can be deadly for humans. It is a serious illness. You can get very sick from it, and that is transmittable by their excrement, urine, and I think saliva as well. But field mice slash deer mice are really good climbers. They are very proficient climbers. So it's very easy for them to get into your areas. They do kind of prefer to be outside as opposed to the house mouse, but they will happily set up shop in wherever they can get inside when it gets colder out. So you've got to watch for that. That's why when it comes to the fall, we kind of do some extra mouse proofing on our trailer. Then there's the house mouse, which is much softer features. It's a friendlier looking mouse, and it's all one color. Again, they are the super breeders. They will just multiply so quickly, so you want to take care of them immediately if they come into your home or trailer. House mouse isn't as good at climbing, but they're really good at jumping. They can jump a foot straight in the air, or they could jump, I think it's 2 feet across. House mouse will also be ripping up a lot of your stuff in order to make a nest. So in your house, that could be a problem if they're getting into your walls, chewing up your insulation. So house mouse, no good. Whether you have mice already or you're just trying to prevent mice from coming in, you should always kind of start in the prevention stage, because even if you have mice already, you want to stop more from coming in. So we're going to start with things that you should be watching out for, things you should be doing. So starting from the outside, clear the whole area, all grass, all bushes, get that cut right down. And then after that, make sure that you're sealing all of the holes, and anything that's not something that can be permanently sealed shut, you are stuffing it with steel wool. So a good rule of thumb is that if you find a hole that is the size of, or the diameter of a pencil, like a number 2 pencil, that's a 1/4 inch. So a good rule of thumb, if you can slide a pencil through it, a mouse is going to be able to get through it. So a good way to plug that up would be if it's a hole that doesn't need to be there, you can caulk it shut, or get steel wool. That's our main thing that we go around our trailer on the outside. Any of like the back of the fridge, which is what you're sitting on right now, the back of the fridge will make a little kind of blanket of steel wool and completely cover that vent up with steel wool. So if a mouse does manage to climb up it, then there's nothing that they can actually get through, because a mouse can't chew through steel wool.
Right, you might be thinking that this is just like super overkill, because like what mouse is going to crawl up onto that? But when we actually go to fully winterize our trailer, because we're done with it for the winter, we have a huge fabric cover that covers the entire trailer and goes slightly underneath. So it's not really that out of a realm of possibility for a mouse to be able to crawl up the cover and access this point, or that one up there. So all of those things are going to get steel wooled.
Another thing is certain scents. So scents that work. Mice don't like the smell of ammonia, citrus, or peppermint. So this is just an essential oil. I buy it from Bulk Barn. And then I tend to put it on little cotton balls. So I'll just soak these cotton balls with peppermint oil and tuck them places. And the idea behind it is that these scents are overwhelming for the olfactory. You think about a mouse and how much stronger or weaker their noses are compared to ours. That's actually a good question. Let's see how much stronger a mouse nose is than a human nose. Okay, so for comparison's sake, according to harvard.eu, mice have 1,200 kinds of odor receptors and 14 kinds of TAARs, which I'll put below what that is because I don't know. Humans have 350 odor receptors and 5 TAARs. So if it's a strong smell to you as a human being, then it's gonna like burn for a mouse. So unfortunately, when it comes to scents, once it gets cold enough to freeze outside, there's something about freezing that kind of nullifies scent. So this is only going to be good until it freezes. So all I'm trying to really do here is just keep them at bay in the season that they're looking to bunk up for the winter. So if I can just keep them out of my trailer until the winter hits, like they should have already moved on and found somewhere else to live. There's three main things that I've seen a lot of in my time working at a trailer or an RV center. The first being, and I'm sure you all have seen or heard of it, is Irish Spring soap. I swear that this was all a clever marketing ploy by the people who make Irish Spring to just get their soap sold, because nobody's gonna use Irish Spring. I'm sorry if you do. Like, it stinks. It's a gross smelling soap. It's not nice. Mice eat it. They'll chew on it. But mice don't care. They don't care about Irish Spring. So it doesn't work. I'm sorry. It might be your tried and true thing. It doesn't work. Irish Spring is not a thing. I'm sorry that rhymed. The other thing that I've seen is dryer sheets. And people will go crazy with dryer sheets. Like, I've seen dryer sheets in freezers in trailers. Like, what mouse is crawling up to your freezer? I don't know. The thing about dryer sheets, like, is it makes sense on one hand because it is overwhelming. You walk into a trailer that's been stuffed with dryer sheets and it's like, it takes your breath away. It is quite intense. But they run out. So dryer sheets alone will not do your job, because as soon as it gets cold, as soon as a little bit of time passes and the air kind of gets to them, they lose their scent really quickly. So I wouldn't trust dryer sheets alone. I will say that I have never seen a mouse pull a dryer sheet into a nest, so maybe there is some validity to the dryer sheet claim, but it's not a thing that's going to work on its own. And the amount of people that use them and like the amount of poo I've seen near them, I don't know how effective, but I can't say that they're not effective. We'll leave it at that. I can't say they don't work. I can't say they do. So if you like using dryer sheets, you like the scent of them, that works for you, keep using them. Just make sure you're doing all the other things as well to keep the mice away. And the final one, which the first time I ever saw it, I was very weirded out because I didn't understand what kind of witchcraft was happening in this trailer, was somebody came up with the idea that mice don't like to live in burnt down houses, so they burned a bunch of wood and then put it on a pie tray and put it in their trailer. And that didn't work. I've seen it many times. I don't know who's perpetuating this, but I'm sorry. It just is not, it did not work. Some of the things you should be doing too is making sure you completely clean your trailer. No food should ever be left in your trailer if you are not actively in your trailer using it. So once you have mice already, there are a few options for what you can do to get rid of them, and I want to discuss them. I'm going to discuss 3 of them because I think that they're worth discussing. So when we had them in the house, we were, like I said, very fortunate that this wasn't a long ongoing thing. We were able to get rid of them pretty quick. We still never really figured out how they got in, but we went around the house and we plugged a lot of holes that we didn't know about. We have rabbits that live under our deck, and for some reason, mice love rabbits. They're kind of like hand in hand. If you got rabbits, you've probably got mice around as well. Maybe it's because of their poo. Rabbit poo is like apparently a tasty treat. Just ask the boys, especially Marshall. Marshall loves rabbit turds. Don't worry about that though. There's no diseases in rabbit turds. They can just num num num. So I didn't feel good about setting lethal traps for the mice in our house. So I looked into it, and then we got ourselves a humane trap. So this is a live trap. It just opens on the two sides. Get there. And then there is a little, I don't know if you can see it, and then there's a little trap door right, that's helpful. There's a little trap right in the very center that you put your food on, and then when they press it, then that closes. So this is the outside version of it. Oh, you can see that. So inside on this little thing, they press it, and it's very obviously sensitive. So you open it up, put your food in there, they step on it, it closes. The thing with these is you need to be there. I read a lot of reviews on it, and people were complaining about it because they set them up in like a trailer for the winter, catch a mouse, and the mouse would chew their way out of it because it's plastic. Like, obviously, you have to be there for these to work. So you hear it go off, you get up, you catch that mouse, like pick up this thing, and then either you're transferring the mouse into another receptacle that it can't chew through and then dealing with it, or you're taking it in the trap and you are dealing with it. And by dealing with it, what we were doing was driving like 5 kilometers away from our house to like a field. Like, luckily we have farm fields all to the north. Driving like quite a distance away. I'll put a little note down below because there was a certain amount of distance that a mouse is not going to figure out how to come back home again. Some of the mice that we caught in our live trap, like we caught many, mostly house mice, but one was a field mouse or a deer mouse. Same thing, essentially. And those, again, this is when I found out about the whole hantavirus. I didn't know about it. Lindsay actually told me about it because mouse is a mouse. They poo, they're gross, whatever. I had no idea how dangerous they could actually be having them in your house. So I had to suck it up, and we went and bought a lethal trap. And it was crappy because it's not what I want to be doing. But we set up that... once that mouse got into our baking cabinet or drawer, I knew that was it. It had to be taken care of. I cleaned up the baking drawer and left a few things in there that it had gotten into already, that obviously it liked. So we left those in there to kind of lure him back down, slapped a little peanut butter on there, and put it in there overnight, and it was dispatched very quickly. But at least with the lethal trap, it is quick. So, and on that note, I want to talk about the third trap, which is not something that I would condone, which is the glue traps. They used to use them at my old work, and they're just, they're, I would say, inhumane, to put it politely. What's going on is that it's just like a square little thing, and like it lays flat, and the whole top is glue. And what they were doing at my old job is they would crumple up food and kind of put it in the center, and then a mouse steps on it and is immediately stuck to it. Like, even for a person, like, these things are sticky. The reason that they're inhumane is because it's like, imagine if you had to go, like, if you were gonna be removed from an area, like, obviously first choice, you would like it done humanely, pick you up, get you gone. Second choice, like, if your choices are this few, at least you go quick. You would not ever choose to be stuck to a surface and forced to die of starvation or dehydration. Why would you make something else suffer that if you would never choose to suffer that? It's just, that's how I think about it. And the boys are getting impatient now, so I'd better go, because I still have a lot of work to do here. And of course, Mickey. Did you guys know Mickey? Did you know about Mickey? Did you know Mickey ate my favorite spatula? Did you know just yesterday? Yeah. Marshall's over there. There's Marshall. Winterizing is fun. It's such a great time. Ugh. This is the whole reason we even got a trailer, was to winterize it all the time. Oh my god. Work with me. Work with me. Nope, don't you go anywhere. I need you there. Don't even think about moving. Okay, push up now. Sing. That was the easy part. Actually, I'm just kidding. That was the hard part.